Hello, I'm Willie Harbert,
And I'm Laureen Harbert.
and we've been part of Adoption Network Cleveland for over the last 12 years.
We adopted our son Isaiah when we were living in Cleveland, when he was a newborn, and he's 9.5 now. He'll make a guest appearance later. But we moved to Minneapolis about 8 years ago, but nonetheless have stayed connected with Adoption Network and think about it as part of an important part of our lives.
And we're just going to share some of the ways Adoption Network Cleveland has been important to us, both from an information on the educational perspective as well as an emotional support perspective.
So Adoption Network Cleveland really journeyed along with us in our adoption path, which was pretty rocky. So we started off pursuing an adoption, and the very first thing that we did was attend Adoption 101 meeting at Adoption Network Cleveland.
You know, we didn't know a lot about adoption. We didn't have a lot of history with adoption to begin with, and we just learned a lot in that class that, you know, you're never prepared for adoption, but it really provided us with a lot of the basics from a concern at the very beginning of the adoption process through the entire, adoption being part of your journey, your entire life.
And then soon after, we got linked up with an adoption navigator, Holly, who I feel like was on speed dial on my cell phone. And she really shared her wisdom and even some of the resources that she used on her adoption journey. And she encouraged us to attend some general meetings of Adoption Network Cleveland.
And yeah, we're generally the type of people who like to do a lot of research and background, and Adoption Network Cleveland really provided us a way to get a lot of that information, just so we were kind of mentally prepared, so then we could be emotionally prepared for the adoption journey.
Yeah, so Rocky River general meeting, those were like our adoption groupies. Jim and the Lindas and all the people who shared their perspectives as we were preparing our home study and really getting ready to bring a baby into our home through adoption. So our adoption journey was pretty rocky, and I would say the folks from our Rocky River meeting were with us every step of the way. We had 3 matches that fell through before we finally brought Isaiah home, and one of those matches lasted for 3 months, and so we would come to Rocky River meetings and describe this blooming relationship, and then when ultimately that placement fell through, each time we would just come back and be enveloped with this love and support and shared tears. So when we finally brought Isaiah home, and this was for real and for the long term, it was such a celebration. And in October of 2010, probably 3 weeks after we brought him home, we went to our first Rocky River meeting as adoptive parents as opposed to prospective adoptive parents. And there was a cake and a party, and it was such a celebration. And I feel like the folks who were there, had journeyed with us, and it was as much a celebration for them and about them as it was about us. And this is actually a gift that they gave us when we were there, all of their signatures, and it still sits in Isaiah's bedroom.
And Adoption Network Cleveland has been important to us even after we adopted Isaiah and brought him home.
Yeah, I remember in the weeks leading up to the first Mother's Day that I was actually a mother attending a Rocky River meeting, and I was having such mixed feelings and a heavy heart thinking about his birth mother and all that she was missing out on. And to be with that group of people who understood that 110% was just so important. I will remember that meeting for my whole life. And we also made a point to attend the birth mother's ceremony, which is like so moving, and for us as adoptive parents is a way to honor birth mothers and to just be a part of that piece of the story. And I remember sending Isaiah's birth mother the program from that first birth mother's ceremony. So yeah, it never ends. It's a lifelong journey.
I'm baby Isaiah. I am 900 years old.
You're 900 years old.
No,
Yeah.
I'm 9.0100.
We've stayed in touch with our friends at Adoption Network with questions and emails every once in a while since we've been in Minneapolis. But these last couple months, we've actually been able to attend the Rocky River meeting and a couple other programs, and to be with you tonight at Creating Futures Benefit. It's just been great to kind of be there in person again, even from this distance.
And we're just so thankful for Adoption Network Cleveland, and it's just been such an important part of our lives.